Good evening, human creatures, and welcome. Today we're going to the Fire Temple, and I've been looking forward to this for a while. And when it comes to dungeons in Ocarina of Time, the first three childhood dungeons really nail both vibe and feel and pure uniqueness in how they are, especially throughout the series. But when it comes to the adult dungeons, the best ones in my opinion to do this is the Fire Temple, the Water Temple, and the Spirit Temple. They truly are a force to be reckoned with and within their own right. I'm curious if Shipra Harkinian has kept the original Fire Temple theme. I hope it didn't do with the secondary theme of the Fire Temple, because that sounds like an even worse version of the Shadow Temple, which don't get me wrong, is not bad, but it just doesn't fit. It feels cheap, like it's been found on the side of the road and just thrown in the back of the car. The original Fire Temple theme had me thinking of Gorons or even monks going there to pray and train while sitting under lava flows and just rocking back and forth, not being burned. Unfortunately, I don't remember the name of the group, but they found that samples of the song were copied off the Islamic call to prayer. And you can clearly even hear Allah mentioned in a few places. But it is such a good theme to have. Like, it is a wonderful theme that really gave this temple a good feel. It almost feels like you're wandering either through an abandoned city, just desolated by the very fire spirits, or a true temple where the Gorons visited and pray, along with their artwork. I really do like the directions that they went with the Goron race here, not really doubling down on the tribal feel, even more so than the Zora and the Kokiri. And I really wish they would have done more of it, because it would have really fit in well if they explored it like they did other dungeons. But you're working with 1997 technology, not 2024 technology, so you can only do so much. Well, today we're diving into it, and I'm also looking forward to see how it goes with the HD texture pack. Let's do it. Let's equip this. You're going to need this. Unless you're doing a kind of solo challenge run, I recommend that you keep this tunic on, because you're definitely going to need it. You can complete that temple without it, but you're going to need a whole lot more bottles. Right? Nope. Nope. God, why am I forgetting this theme? Oh, I hate it when I forget a Fire Temple theme. The Bolero of Fire, I should say, the Warp Song. Down A, okay. Alright, let's do this. I just love the outside of that temple, I really do. It kind of gives it like you're entering a kiln. Like they're baking mud, bricks, you name it, pottery in here, and it's hot enough to do so. That'll save you some heartbreak. And when I saw this as a kid, I fell in even love with it more. Just a stunning and gorgeous intro. You don't get the childhood kind of zoom-ins anymore of it circling around. But nonetheless, the Fire Temple is a force to be reckoned with, especially with the HD pack. It really does look like you're about to enter an abandoned city. Oh, thank you. An abandoned city where just fire has desolated the population. Where a true place where they came to worship and pay homage by burning personal items, thanking the fire spirits. But enough about that. Let's go meet our sage. Yes, that is Daruna. I love how he wants to give you a man-to-man talk, but you're like 14, so technically speaking, what are we talking here in the Legend of Zelda series where 14's a man? I know the world's rough, but damn. Now, he's off to be killed. I've often wondered that when it comes to sages, do they have to, does their physical bodies have to perish? Oh, yeah, I was gonna re-get it. Does their physical bodies have to perish in order for them to become sages, or can they just transcend into a sage? I've often wondered that playing this game. Yeah, I know I'm applying weird logic to a Zelda game, but, you know, who hasn't at one point or another? I don't think this game's fan base would have grown if that wasn't it. And here's one of the sad facts about this dungeon, at least in my opinion. These guys only serve use, or I should say, to just give you very small hints about weird things. Like, you're going to hear a lot of special crops, the Goron special crop. They won't call it the fucking bomb flower. That drives me nuts in this game, is it'll never be called the bomb flower. It's always called the Goron special crop, just in case you didn't know. And it'll drive you insane. Which is kind of sad, because, you know, at this point in this game, they shouldn't really stop holding your hand. I mean, come on. After Dodongo's Cavern at dropping a hint at that special crop, just call it the bomb flower. Now with this Zora's, not Zora's, where the hell did that come from? With the Goron's tunic, you get to do a few things. Here we get rid of our local pest. You can walk on lava without instantly taking damage and even burning. The same goes if an enemy catches you on fire, such as these fire keys here. You're no longer catching on fire and taking continuous damage. It gets put out. Another little thing is, if you go to like the Shadow Temple, there's a room full of hidden spikes. If you wear the Goron's tunic while standing on it, it'll do the same thing as it does with the lava, like it's coated the same. It'll take a while for it to damage you. Now, after you free these guys, they don't really go anywhere. You can leave them here or talk to them and they flee. Goron's place still has people in, if I remember right. Maybe I'm wrong, correct me in the comments. In fact, I'd like to hear that, but I would have loved to have a time crunch in here to where it made a sort of urgency that you save all the Goron. Or they would be eating. Either make it like they did with the monkeys in Twilight Princess's Forest Temple, where they aid you to, yeah, like they aid you getting across to the boss room, or even do even one better. If you don't save them all, or you don't meet a certain ones in enough time, they get eaten by the dragon, becoming stronger, a harder boss fight. That would have been really good. It would have been dark, it would have been metal as fuck. I'm down for that. And it just kind of feels like a lost opportunity where like they didn't have the kind of resources to carry it out. Or maybe that was their intent, since this is 90s Legend of Zelda, which I don't know about their copyright now, but back then they were pretty tight. Because once again, the very music you're listening to, I was referencing at the beginning, they were using the Islamic call to prayer. Now you think that they would be appreciative of that, their music being one of the biggest gaming franchises of all time. But no, it was enough to have it changed over, which kind of saddens me, because it just doesn't have that kick to it. It loses its mystery. If you ever get caught down there, run over. There's a little ledge you can not climb up, but have to walk up. Shouldn't have called it a ledge, like a ramp. But if you do it quick enough before you take enough damage to go into a pain state, just hook shot up these grates. Don't get hit by the bats. Alright, here we go. On the push. I love the look of this place so much. It really gave the Gorons more personality than just a tomb underground or a basic temple. That I wouldn't even call their home looking like a basic temple. Like, it lacks so much to it. Even the Zoras have more going on in their domain than the Gorons do in their city. I wouldn't call it a city. Now, you gotta be careful though. Those are torch slugs. They can do some awful stuff. They can jump, so don't think they're just laying flat. They can also do this thing to where they flip over. When they do that with the hit of the hammer, you can kill them, or at least when the torch is put out, you can hit them with the hook shot too. They almost always give you magic, if not all the time. They're violent little bastards, and the second you put out their flame, they like to just run away from you. So if you ever need quick magic and you see those guys, you're guaranteed to get it. Now the trick in this room, if you have bomb shoes, is you can line up and just nail it. And if you don't, try to hit it right with a bomb and climb up this wall. Now if I was going at regular Zelda climbing speed, oh my god, I'd be panicking. But since Ocarina of Time is on par with Twilight Princess and climbing speeds being atrocious, no. I love that right there, how it just shoves that right in your face. Also, fuck this maze. Kid me hates the hell out of this place. Adult me hates it even more. Avoid the rocks. We're gonna rescue 2 Gorons. Actually, technically 3, but it's on another floor. There he is. You want to hit that switch. There's also a Skulltula here behind a fake wall. I'll let you know that constantly. Another silver key. That's all these guys kind of really do, is just mark where the keys are at. They have no other purpose instead of just giving you, really nothing. I don't think there's another key in here. I know there's one under there. I don't think there's one over here. Probably wrong, and I think I am wrong. Yeah, I am. It's been a while. The walls in this room looks great. I really like it. I can just picture little nubs of dirt falling everywhere, and dusty as all hell in here as you're trying to breathe. Really did a good job on the HD texture pack. Like, it really does feel good in here. Alright, now that we got this. Save my ass rolling. Right up over to here to this big building. There you don't need to go because there's just a map, and whatever you do, do not fall into that hole. That leads you right down to the boss chambers, and you have to climb your ass all the way back. Now, this room looks peaceful. You think you can jam out in here, it's silent. When I hit that grate over there and get a little further, there's going to be a wall of flames, and more importantly, those, what are they called? Anti-fairies? Flaming anti-fairies, and I'm probably wrong on that. What are they called? Because for some reason the names are skipping me. They'll pop out and hit you. Alright, let's skip these hearts because I'm probably going to need them later. The second you get bigger than that flame or to a certain part, it'll dissipate. But if you hit it, you'll fall back, and I think it restarts at where it was and starts chasing you. That's just the map or compass down there. No need for that. That's where that one gauge room took you. And here we are to this place, right at the top. That hurt. This is the building that gave me a abandoned city feel. Like something went wrong and they had to leave the area. Which I really do like. And once again, it's impressive. Like, these are old streets now hijacked by Ganon to be something different. And the cells are kind of rooms or even houses that they would live. Right over there, if you know the Scarecrow song, you can get onto that platform and it'll take you up to get 2 golden Skulltulas, if I remember right. Maybe 1, it's been a while. Alright, let's not keep our friend over there waiting. You can use the hook shot. Once those fires are put out, he likes to flee. Once again, if you're low on magic, you find these guys is the answer. There we are. And now we go. Skinny paths always worry me about Ocarina of Time because the way the falling mechanic works. You fall a long way, so you might want to grab that. No matter how much you pull forward on that joystick, well, let's just say your ankles are going to take a beating. Man, they could have gone at least with anything else other than the soundtrack that this has. I'm not sure if the hookshot works like it does. I think, yep, it's got to be with nothing behind it where it hits that wall. And it's always kind of heartbreaking when I fired up the Game Boy, not the Game Boy, but the GameCube kind of port to this, and it gave me this song. I actually have the original cartridge with the original song, which I'm still kind of glad I have. Remember our friend over there? Now that wall of fire reverses. Watch out for our friend. Child me loved this. I really was impressed by it. Adult me Hates it with a burning fucking passion. Like, I remember actually looking forward to this on my multiple playthroughs of it. And here you got to deal with the wall of flames. Any hearts? Nope, just arrows. And for shit like that. Don't ever get too close to him, they'll belch out some flames and tag you. They don't have random movements, they just hit wherever you're hit. So as long as you're there, you're gonna get it. Alright, here we go. Safe and sound, so to speak. And this is where I always mark the checkpoint of being halfway done with this dungeon, was this room right here. And this dungeon is guilty of one of the big sins in Ocarina of Time. Taking the long way to get somewhere. Which, you know, is a point of the dungeon, is not making it hard, but making something difficult. But goddamn does this game have it in spades, making it annoying. Yep, just like I thought. I almost did it. Put this light here. Once again, you're on a timer. And we got some bomb and we got a heart. That's pretty good. Meet the false door. One of the ways to tell this door is false is they pop out. They're not inside the wall like a normal door. If you ever have any doubt, tag it, it'll come down and slap you. The hammer and the bomb are the great ways to get rid of it. In fact, I think one of the only. At least that I remember. Hop in and meet your first mini-boss of the fire dungeon, the Flare Dancer. Sticking with the hook shot. Hit him again. I don't know if that matters, but it gets him to jump back in that fire. Each time he jumps out, he's a different color of flame. Let him go for too long, he'll make it rain fire. He does this, hop to the side, tag him, he jumps back in. The halfway point is when he gets to the green flame, which if I remember right is what happens when you throw copper into fire. Alright, come here, you. Once he does that, it's over. You won. There's two of him in this dungeon, one right here and one at the end. And he's a pretty good mini-boss, and I don't know if he's been used in other Legend of Zeldas, at least to my knowledge, but it would really be good to see him have a kind of twist on him, especially with modern technology, and see what they can do. Surprised you didn't see him in Majora's Mask. But they really didn't have a fire temple either. Done with that section. I hated this as a kid so bad, like I really did. I was not good at running up this. Let's go get the dungeon's item. Now you can damage boost through this if you know what you're doing. Me personally, I'm doing a 3-heart challenge, so I don't got the health to burn. Honestly, I thought I was gonna get knocked off the edge there. I really do love the Megaton Hammer. It gives the Gorons a kind of, what's a good way to put it? Like a forge. Like that looks more like a forge hammer than the wooden mallets that you get later on that are kind of ridiculous. Or the magic hammers. This one really does fit the name Megaton, and it also really fits the fire dungeon that it's in. Alright, now we're out of here. Let's equip this. Now, it's kind of a straight section right now. Like, it's... You got a few more twists and turns, but this dungeon's pretty much wrapped up. It's also one of those dungeons I always remember being harder as a kid than what it actually was. I don't know if other people suffered that. If you see these guys in any place, just break out that hammer. You hit them so hard that they grind away on the floor. Oh, I got some hearts out of it. Thank you kindly. I love this section right here. This is just gorgeous. Beautiful camera work. It's almost like a reverse of the of that one platform in Dodongo's Cavern. Save one box. I don't know if you can get anything out of it. I just do that out of habit. Race to the bottom. I run the bats. Don't step on that. Get close. Drop. Avoid the bat in the corner. And you're done. I love that section. And here you are, but instead of hitting that thing in the middle, hit this rusted switch. I love rusted switches. I really like the idea of it being rusted, where you couldn't just kind of just have a weight or something on it. Like, it gives character to the dungeon. Like, it's been so long there, it started corroding, especially in the water dungeon where you have actual water. It would have been even more awesome to include it in other dungeons. Well, that didn't go my way, but luckily I played that flute long enough to do this. Now we hop down. Run past him. Ignore his plight. Grab our silver key. And we head back up the way we came. You can go through all that mess again if you're just a glutton for punishment. That's not how I get down. I like how those bars slam. Like, I honestly thought when that did that, you're gonna have another boss fight or something in here. You suck. Right now, we're falling to the boss. Technically speaking, the room before the boss, right over there. God, that lava looks really good. But we don't have the boss key, so we're circling back to the entrance. It's not a Zelda dungeon unless you do this once per game. It doesn't matter what you're playing. Stick him. Get a few hearts out of the deal. One green rupee, because why not? Head over to this section of the wall. Remember our friend here? Hammer time. I honestly wish they would have done what they did in a few other Zeldas, but the one I can think of most is Minish Cap, where you can kind of beat a sub-boss and warp back. And all these little guys have to kind of die. Lure him here. And this is where the hammer comes in handy. It flips him over so you can do your due diligence and kill him. I recommend you do that. It's better than messing with the hook shot. 3 slashes usually do the trick. And what can flip over can also flip them back. I'd like to see I would like to see a ROM hack to where you can use the fire slugs as kind of something to light a Deku stick, or maybe even a fire arrow, like have them go back and forth behind a frozen eye, or not behind, in front of a frozen eye, and you have to get it just right with them. Also, the likes in this one aren't too bad. They're not my favorite in the series. They feel like they're more for show than anything. They're not really that menacing. You lose your shield and your tunic, which if you don't have money at this point is not bad now. You can kill these in 2 arrows, but do it manually. Aim low, because if you aim high, you sometimes, or I should say auto aim, you always kind of get like a shield hit to them where it doesn't damage it. They almost always give out red rupees too. So if you're looking to farm, I don't want to go back to childhood, that's how you go. And it's our friend the Flare Dancer with the hammer. Once again, it's made easy. Get him back in the fire and get this done over faster. That's fine, let him run. Tag him one last time. Now, don't let this chest up here fool you. You think you're getting a silver key or maybe even something bigger. It's just bombs. Head into here and hit the last rusted switch. That's what I like about him. It gives the hammer something more unique than just being this item or this dungeon's item. It gives it a life beyond that. And I'm really big on Zelda dungeons who include that. Don't just make it a one-trick pony or something that's, you know, for just this unlocking one item around the place. Now that we got that, we're going to take on Volvagia. Now, in his boss room, you want to have the tunic on, because you can't take fire damage. You can beat him in enough time without the tunic, but you're going to need all the health you can get and a few fairies to extend it. Now, when I saw this dungeon right here, I shouldn't say dungeon, this boss room, I honestly thought it was going to be like a Gleeok, where there was going to be heads popping out the sides of the rock and you're going to be doing a fight. That would later come to fruition, or so to speak, in Minish Cap. God, it's beautiful in here. One of my favorite bosses in this game. Meet Volvagia, and probably one of my favorite boss intros. He really does feel menacing with his size and his grandeur. Plus, they don't just give him kind of a one-trick use. They both make him a flying and ground. So yes, you are playing whack-a-mole if you guessed it. This is probably the easiest thing to do with him. Conk him on the head twice, maybe with the Master Sword or a Bigoron. The second he gets like this, start hammering him, not with bombs, but with arrows. Second he goes in, bust out that hammer again. Here we go again, round 2, but now we have a little risk. I hate it when I do bombs. The second you can no longer lock in on him, grab this side. When I first played this, I had no idea that you could do this. Like, I thought the second you jumped on that side, game over, that's it. Boss restart, where you're just gonna sit there and die. And it was so glad that they included this. So it does make this a possible hitless run if you're into that. And here we go with fake outs. No, never mind. Now, I don't know the exact strength of the Megaton hammer. I don't know how it compares to... I hate the C stick button so bad right now. Or I should say C button stick. Here we go again. And the end. Now, this is probably one of my favorite deaths of any Ocarina of Time boss, and really throughout the Legend of Zelda series. How cool is killing a dragon that sets itself on fire by coiling itself too tight? That is metal as fuck. And is yet to be matched, in my opinion. And the way his jaw still moves after death is pretty cool too. But we don't need a heart piece, we need a sage. Hello, Elvira. What are you doing, kitty? Well, she went from being the Doom kitty up to the Legend of Zelda kitty. Let me move my desk back here. Let you down. Oh, sorry. That's just my controller rattling. Well, Greenpeace will thank you when you clear out all that smog. I was hoping they would get different dialogues for the sages. I really was, because they all feel like they're saying the same thing. They should have done what they did with Link to a different world, or another world. I like how they handled the sages in that one, giving them their own personality, and you can talk to them. In this one, they kind of feel like repeats. And judging from his eyes, that man needs a lot of sleep. It would also have been nice if they added kind of like an elemental touch, like make the medallion of fire smolder or even glow in places like it's just been forged, or just have it on fire. That would have been just cool as fuck. How could I? You always got to keep the creep factor in, don't you? And here we are. That was a fire temple. I love it for its uniqueness, especially with the OG fire temple theme. Let's head back to Temple of Light. It's a lot closer to our next destination, which is going to be... Well, I'm going to call it there for today. I gotta say, that's probably one of my most favorite yet flawed temples in Ocarina of Time, and was a real pleasure to play. I would love to have seen it pushed to its full potential, maybe in a ROM hack, maybe even using this very port right here. Someone can come up with something that really adds some spice to that dungeon, and no doubt, time will only tell. I'd like to thank everybody, like and subscribe. You'd be more than welcome to comment on anything I've said or done here. I'd be willing to hash it out with you. As for right now, I think I'm gonna head out. I'll catch you guys on the flip. Take care. I'll see you around.